Okay, last step. So we've made our changes. I want to step through what that looks like for our team to get this out to a 2.1.9 release of HAXBody, or whatever the next semantic version will be here. So the previous one, just a super refresh. I converted this and updated some of the CSS, so that's just a lot more efficient. Uses way less processing to handle, and sets us in motion for using lit element for these as opposed to polymer element. So now I want to publish these, and this is where version control, a mono repo, and Lerna really come into play. Lerna is our program we use for managing the mono repo. So I'm in my mono repo here, the Lerna Web Components one, and so do a git status. We can see I did make changes to some elements here, these three. So just to visualize those, I'm going to fire up GitHub GUI, and you can see, right, there's the changes. I dropped iron image as a dependency here, tweaked some CSS, drastically simplified the way that one works, minor tweak in the Gizmo browser for consistency, and then fairly major rewrite of just the Hex Gizmo browser item element in this case. Video player and HAX.js, those just had updates because of, I ran the demo basically, and it changed some lines basically. So now what we'll do is let's work in the LRN Web Components mono repo, because I like to have issues associated with things. So I'll open an issue, and we'll make this issue called Make Gizmo Display More Efficient and Cleaner to Read. So it's supposed to look like Android app flyout on a phone, and instead when we hover stuff, it's needlessly animating and doing a lot of JS we don't care much about, right? So I would do something like that. We'll assign it to member of the team, and this label is, honestly, this is an enhancement, and it is performance related, but the interesting thing, as we discovered in the second video, is it actually had accessibility implications, and specifically like UX implications around accessibility, but still kind of cool. Now I don't have a UX tag in this repo apparently, so let's make one. User experience. All right, so this is improving the user experience of screen assistive technology while being a performance enhancement. It's pretty awesome. So submit issue. All right, and now I'm going to take my issue and we'll say fixes performance and only by moving to lit element and CSS over JS. Okay. So we're going to commit that to master. I'm going to push it up, and we'll see in the LRN Web Components repo here, association, and we'll close that issue. All right. So now that would be something that people could, backtrace and see when this code got introduced on the team. Just helps with transparency going forward. Now, what I would do next is I would do, so that's already pushed up. Now I can do this command. I can do Lerna, and we can do Lerna publish. And what Lerna is going to do is going to loop through, look for changes to all the different elements in here, and then I'm going to say, okay, hey, everything is on 2.1.9. And I'm going to say, okay, I could move these in major release. I'm going to say this is a patch, it's a very minor release, 2.1.10. And then it's going to say, hey, we're going to go through all these things, and these are the ones we found that are going to change. And so it's not everything, right? There's like 300 some elements in here, but it said these specific ones have had a change in votes since then. And I'll say yes. And so what's going to happen now is it's effectively going into each one of those. It's going to make a git commit that changes the tag in each one of them. And then it's going to package these up, and it's going to ship them up to NPM at that specific version per. And you're going to see it start to dance by here as it's now got 2.1.10 values on it. So we can see simple colors had a minor tweak to it. Editable table has changed since then, since we last did a release. CSV render, and my phone is going to start blowing up because wonderful NPM will email you about every single version. So That's always a fun aspect of this, is that my email gets flooded whenever I end up doing a Lerna publish. But this is going to ship all of these things up at new versions, so that instead of 2.1.8, once HAXBody inevitably gets updated here, let's see it. We're at simple drawer, haven't got to HAXBody yet. There it is, HAXBody just went up. Okay, so now NPM should, whenever it notices that it just got this code, it should update to reflect that we now have a 2.1.10 available. So it might take a little bit via their CDNs to propagate. I did just push that up, but that's effectively what our workflow is, to get a new version out there so that if you were to run npm install or yarn install in this code, you're going to get the correct version now with these performance improvements baked in. So that's largely our publishing distribution workflow to get these out and available for other people. We work on them in one place, learn and make sure these things get shipped up correctly at the right version, and actually there were 50 packages that were just shipped up, even if it's not updating here. Let me see if I can find one that did. Whoops, /video-player. There's video player. Yeah, so I probably have to wait. Oh, there we go. Okay, now it updated. So now video player says it's updated. There we go. So that's how we get things distributed out to other people. And then it should update on webcomponents.org. This will trail behind it by a little bit just because of caching and service workers. I think maybe video player would be ready. So we search for video player. No, it'll pick it up when it does, but you get the idea. So once we have this in place, we have this thing listed on webcomponents.org and on npmjs.com, then we run Lerna, we run one command, and it publishes these things out, managing all the versions, tag releases, if you will, getting that stuff out of the way, while letting our team work in one place where we get to say, hey, we want to improve the performance of the way gizmos work. So now, also as a result of having these in here, I'm not going to show this part running, but now what we would do is go into HAXCMS, and I would run yarn run build. And the way that that works, and the reason why that works, is we go to HAXCMS and do get status. This little inside baseball here. See, there's a ton of stuff being deleted right now, but if we do listing of everything, you can see that node modules of HAXCMS is shared as a symlink over to the LRN Web Components directory. So another nice efficiency of Lerna is that if I were to bounce over there and we go into LRN Web Components, it's actually got symlinks correctly managed amongst all the interlinked dependencies. So you can work on the video player and yet see it reflected in your HAXBody area. It's a really nice thing that you can do with it. So now that I'm over in HAXCMS, I got my node modules shared, and when I run yarn run build, it's going to actually run a single build pipeline that we can then correctly use across everything. So that's kind of unifying this whole end-to-end approach. So we work on everything in one place. The team commits code there. We publish it out separately. But then when we want to actually ship new versions of the entire platform to Drupal or Elms or HAXCMS or anything, then I run this command in one place. We push it up to CDNs and we're done. So I hope these have been informative as to what our process is and how our team works. Let me know if you have any questions from here. I'll be doing a lot more of these type of videos going forward.